Hello and welcome to Lesson 1 in the Practice Academy's course on building your digital healthcare brand. In this lesson, I'm going to introduce you to the course, tell you what it's all about, and why it's important. I'll teach you about what search engine optimization is and why you need it to attract clients. Focusing on building your digital brand and footprint as a healthcare worker is about future-proofing your site, so that even if you're attracting enough clients now, you'll set yourself up to continue attracting clients in the future by staying up to date on all the ways people are finding us through the internet and on their mobile devices. We'll also go over some definitions and concepts that we'll be covering in more detail in future lessons, so we're all speaking the same language. You'll learn about the history of web search and how the internet works and is categorized. This first lesson will set you up with all the basics you need to know so that we can dive into the next 6 lessons fully prepared to take action. I'll do my best to keep the lesson simple and limited to the information you need to know. Let's start with a history lesson on the evolution of search on the internet. This summary is loosely based on an article by Danny Sullivan on searchengineland.com. The first phase of search, around 1996, started long before we started Googling things on the internet. It started with search engines like AltaVista, Lycos, and WebCrawler. Remember those? These search engines predated Google and crawled a small number of pages on the brand new internet. It's pretty easy to understand how web pages were organized by search engines back then. The only factor these first generation search engines took into account when returning results were the words that were on the page. So if you were a massage therapist back then and you wanted to rank well for massage, all you would have to do is put the words massage therapy on your page 100 times in a row. Then if a competitor of yours wanted to rank higher than you, all they would need to do is put the words massage therapy 125 times in a row. Suffice it to say, it was pretty easy to game the system. However, search engines didn't want someone to do better simply because they typed the same word more times than another person. They needed to come up with a better system. But search engines also hadn't figured out how to make any money off of search, so they were in no rush. Enter Google. Google figured they could do a better job organizing web pages on the internet, and they started coming up with new ideas. Once Google hopped into the game, we entered phase 2 of search. Phase 2 introduced off-the-page ranking factors. On-the-page factors are controlled by the owner of the website. Owners of web pages could instantly change their place in search just by changing the words on their page. So off-the-page factors are those that the website owner does not directly control. Early off-the-page factors started to look beyond the site by looking at links. Google decided to consider links to be like votes, and pages with a lot of links pointing at them would get a lot of votes. Google figured that the more votes you got, the higher you should be ranked. Google also wanted to know who had the best votes. They wanted to know who was the real authority out there, so they tried to look at the quality of those links as well. There were other search engines that did some of this off-the-page stuff as well. There was one search engine out there called Direct Hit. They looked at things like click-through rate. For instance, if Direct Hit listed 10 search results, but they saw that people clicked on the third result almost 100% of the time, then they would adjust it so that the third result was ranked number 1 instead of 3. However, it was really link analysis that carried us along for about a decade after Google got into the game. Around 2007, we started to enter into phase 3. Even though links were still working pretty well in determining search results, the internet had so many pages by this point that we needed to come up with something else to sort through everything. There needed to be more factors to determine relevancy. So search started to become more focused. Instead of searching through 100 billion pages, you were able to search through a smaller collection of pages of focused content. This is often referred to as vertical search. In horizontal search, you would do a search for news, sports, entertainment, travel, and so on, and you would just type it all into one big search box. It would go out there and try to come back with all the pages from across the web that it thinks is relevant to whatever you searched for. But in vertical search, you just are searching through one vertical slice, and that one slice of web might only be about entertainment. So when you search for something like bacon, you would get results about the very talented Kevin Bacon instead of the very tasty food, bacon. Google calls vertical search universal search. Universal search also solves the problem that if you search for pictures of flowers, you'll actually be shown pictures of flowers rather than getting 10 links that lead you to pictures of flowers. Bing, Yahoo, and all the other modern search engines do this now too. Then around 2010 came the 4th phase of search. In this phase, search engines tried to replicate the human element. Back before the internet was even invented, we had to ask actual people about how to find the best information. Many times we would ask people that we knew or we were close to. We'd ask people that already understood our preferences and would give us answers based on what they thought would be best for us based on our interests, values, location, and goals. When search engines came along, they were looking at all the web pages out there, but they really weren't using a huge amount of human data. The links were put there by humans, and humans had to write the content, but search engines were not able to tap into the human element and make personalized recommendations. That's what's going on in phase 4. If a search engine can tell you constantly go back to sites like the New York Times and the Huffington Post, then the next time you search for something, they'll give more weight to those sites and rank them a little bit higher because you really seem to like the content on those sites. Or let's say you're searching for travel and you just searched for San Diego. Rather than pretend that these things are disconnected, they'll put them together on your subsequent searches because you're probably looking for information about San Diego travel, even though you didn't put in all those words. Search engines started to use your search history. The other thing that happened in phase 4, which affects healthcare workers in a very big way, is that search engines started taking note of your physical location. In a macro sense, search engines know if you're in the US or you're in the UK. So if you type in football in the US, you'll see results about the NFL. And if you typed in football in the UK, you'd see results about soccer. On the micro level, search engines were able to learn what city and what neighborhood you were performing the search in. So if a searcher living in Portland, Oregon simply typed in couples counselor, the results would show counselors who are located in Portland that are close to you instead of showing you counselors that are in Seattle or Washington, D.C. or so on. One other part of the 4th phase is social media signals. Search engines are still trying to wrap their head around social media, but it's starting to become more of a factor. It's just that search engines have put so much importance on links in the past, and that's not something they're going to give up anytime soon. However, when someone goes out and gets a good massage from a skilled practitioner, they're more than likely going to tweet about it, or create a Facebook post about it, or write a review about it on Yelp or Google Maps, instead of sitting at their computer and writing a blog post about it on their website and providing a link to the massage therapist's business. So as we move out of phase 4 and into the next phase, social media signals will probably hold more weight. But links will probably never totally go away, so it's still very important to pay special attention to them. We're currently entering into the 5th phase of search. This phase is about conversational search. I'll demonstrate it for you on my iPad. Who is Barack Obama?
According to Wikipedia, Barack Hussein Obama II is the 44th and current President of the United States, as well as the first African American to hold the office.
Where was he born?
He was born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Who are his parents?
Barack Obama's parents are Ann Dunham and Barack Obama, Sr.
How tall is he?
He is 6 feet 1 inch tall.
Who is his wife?
His spouse is Michelle Obama since 1992.
To do all of that, Google has to understand that Barack Obama, when he searched for him, wasn't just these letters on a web page. It had to understand that he is a person, that he is an entity, that there are things to look up on him and other things that are connected to him. This is much different than phase 1, where when we were searching, we were really just looking for letters on a page. But now search engines understand context and values and how they all relate to each other. Phase 5 is still developing, and it will be exciting to see what else comes next. This is the end of our history lesson. This course is built around performing well in present-day search by focusing on search engine optimization and future-proofing your site as best as possible so that you'll never be phased out. You've probably heard the term search engine optimization, or SEO, thrown around, but do you really know what it means? Simply put, SEO is the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of the traffic that you earn through the organic results in search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. SEO is about using techniques to influence the organic results that are organized by Google and other popular search engines. So what exactly do I mean by organic results? Let's do an internet search together and I'll show you what I mean. Here I am at google.com and I'm going to perform a search for couples counseling in Portland, Oregon. When I click enter, we are taken to the search engine result page. Here at the top and on the sides, you can see paid ads. You can create these ads and have them placed on the search engine result page by creating a Google AdWords account. That is not what this course is about. This course is about ranking high on search engine result pages without paying extra money to show up in ads. Just below the ads are the local Google Map listings. You do not need to pay money to show up in these listings. In Lesson 4, we are going to cover how to show up in the local Google Map listings. You can attract a lot of potential clients if your business appears there. Underneath the local Google Maps results are the organic results. This is where the bulk of web searchers do their clicking. If you apply the SEO techniques covered in this course to your website, then you'll show up higher in these organic results, which will lead to more visitors to your site and ultimately more clients. The organic search results are based on many different factors, most of which are under your control. This course will teach you about the things that influence your placement in the search results and show you how to take control of them for maximum results. You can't pay to be ranked higher in organic results. However, you can organize your website in such a way that you'll rank higher and move up the search results. Let's take a look at this chart together so that you can really understand the importance of ranking well in search. This chart shows how important it is to rank well in search results. As you can see, the y-axis shows the percentage of clicks and the x-axis shows the position of the organic result. So if you're the first result listed, your website is clicked over 18% of the time when a search is performed. That's really good. Over 35% of searchers click on the top 3 results, while just 1% of them click on the last result listed. This course focuses on ranking well in Google searches. The vast majority of searches are performed on Google. However, other search engines like Bing and Yahoo are used as well. But if you can rank well with Google, you'll rank well with all the others. The Google algorithm is changing constantly and evolving over time as people's search habits and tendencies change. As long as you understand what the goal of the Google algorithm is, then you'll always be able to stay on top of your search results. In future lessons, we'll talk about what the ultimate goal of the algorithm is and why it's always evolving. When you do a Google search, you're not actually searching the web. You're searching Google's index of the web. They build their index by using spiders that fetch a few web pages and then follow those links to more web pages and on until the bulk of the internet has been cataloged. So let's say a searcher types in couples counseling, Portland, Oregon. Google searches thousands of pages in its index to come up with the results it returns. How does Google decide which few web pages they want to display on the first page of results? Well, they ask hundreds of questions of those web pages to figure out what would be the best match. Like, how many times does the search query show up on the web page? And where are those search words? Are they in the title of the page, the header, the content? Is it a high quality or low quality site? What's the page's page rank? Larry Page, who is one of the co-founders of Google, came up with the term PageRank, which refers to the algorithm that calculates the relevance of a web page to the search term entered. A page's rank is determined by how many other websites link to it and how popular or important those linking pages are. Google uses several other algorithms in determining search results, but PageRank is generally considered the most important. Google combines these factors, plus hundreds more, to give each page in its massive index a score, which is what ultimately forms the search results displayed. We'll dive into what the most important factors are and how to control them and improve on them in future lessons. For now, I want to quickly go over some of the key concepts that we'll cover during this course, so that we're all speaking a common language. These are in no particular order, mainly because their order of importance is constantly in flux. First up, keyword use. The term keywords refers to the word or string of words people type into search engines like Google. Searchers use keywords as a way to identify and verbalize their problem or topic in which they're looking for more information. The search engine then checks to see if those keywords are on your website. When we talk about keyword use, we're not just talking about keywords appearing in the content, but also in critical areas like the titles and headings on your website. Secondly, content analysis. This isn't just referring to the keyword use in the content, but rather the content's quality. The Google spiders actually read all the content on your web page and figure out how valuable and comprehensive the information is to the searcher. This plays a huge role in search rankings, and we'll talk more about how to make sure your website passes the content analysis check. Third, we have user data. Do potential clients who visit your page get what they want? Are they happy with their click? Do they bounce back to the search engine result page right away? Do visitors to your site take actions that show happiness? Do they seem satisfied? Google is able to collect and analyze all this user data, and it plays an important role in how your site is ranked. Fourth, links. Google's able to see if websites have links directing visitors to your website, and they use this data in the search results. How many sites are pointing to your page? Are they important sites, popular sites, sites with authority and respect around the web? The more quality sites that link to your site, the better you'll do in search results. Number 5 is domain authority. Domain authority relates to how important Google sees your site on the internet. A site like Wikipedia has a lot of domain authority. That's why you'll see their pages ranking more easily for search terms, even if there isn't a lot of content on those pages. A site that is new or doesn't have much good content, or just bad content, will have low authority and won't rank well or quickly. Domain authority is something you build over time, and applying the lessons you'll learn during this course will get you headed in the right direction. 6 is a fun one called sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is relatively new and refers to the data Google collects from reviews. Are people saying nice things, leaving nice reviews, or are they complaining about your site? Businesses with bad reviews will have a poor sentiment analysis score and won't perform well in search results. This ensures that unethical providers don't get ranked as well as ethical ones. I like sentiment analysis because it feels like robots are learning how to feel and understand what's good and bad. 7th, we have social media. Google takes social media properties into account when creating search results, and you can move up the rankings if you have tweets and likes and mentions on all the social media platforms. For example, if you posted a blog on your website that was shared multiple times on Facebook, that page of your site would move up in the search rankings. These boosts can be short-term, but are still helpful when building a business. Number 8 is focused on diversity and freshness. Websites that are adding more quality and relevant content tend to rank better and get noticed by Google. The more you update and add things to your site, the better it'll do. Don't let your site just sit there and become stale. It'll start slipping in the search results. You might be asking yourself, is SEO even worth it? The short answer is yes, SEO is worth it, but only if you want potential clients to be able to find your site when they're searching on the internet. And with how much technology is taking over our lives these days, it's a real no-brainer. Search engines are crawling your site right now, but those crawlers aren't as sophisticated as we might like. SEO gives you more control over how your site is represented in those search engine result pages. Good SEO can also improve how users experience your site. Another huge aspect of your digital brand is online business directories and local listings. Your healthcare practice should not be listed on just one single website that you've created. It needs to be plastered all over the internet. And that's where business listings and online directories come in. We're going to go over how to make sure that your practice ranks high in search for your Yelp and Google Maps listing, as well as all the healthcare directories you're paying to advertise with. The more optimized your business listing and online directory listings are, the higher your websites will rank, and vice versa. It's all connected, and you need to harness that power. Once potential clients find your website or business listing, you need them to send you a message and schedule a session. In Lesson 6, we're going to go over how to ethically and effectively influence people to reach out to you. I'll talk to you about what specifically should be written on your webpage. I'll provide super helpful instructions on how to approach your content and integrate the concepts we'll cover in the lessons ahead for each individual page of your website and for your online business or directory listing. Some of these tips are standard and based on years of best practices market research, but others may be new to you and are based on my proprietary data that is specific to the healthcare industry and that I have collected from my 2 online healthcare directories, Portland Therapy Center and WellPDX. Each lesson, including this one, will come with a downloadable PDF that goes over all the important points in the video lesson and also provides you with step-by-step instructions for making key changes to your online presence. I can't make it any easier. I'm looking forward to teaching you all these valuable skills that will boost your client load. I've been using these techniques for over 10 years now, and on average I get 5 new client inquiries per week. I'm excited to find out about how many more clients you'll be able to attract. So go ahead and download the PDF that accompanies this lesson. The PDF is filled with all the important definitions we've gone over so far. And now that you know how the web organizes itself and you understand key terms, in Lesson 2, we'll dive deep into what keywords are, why they are the building blocks of your website, and how to come up with the most valuable ones for your healthcare practice. Until then, bye.